Chosen one. Take a breath before you continue. Not because this message is heavy, but because your spirit already recognizes it. You didn't click this by accident. You didn't stumble into this message. And you are not just curious. This is confirmation. There is a heaven's signature power active in you right now. A power that does not announce itself loudly. A power that does not need applause. A power that cannot be copied, duplicated, downloaded, mimicked, or stolen. And if you've felt different lately, if people are responding to you in ways they never did before, if silence feels louder, if your presence feels heavier, if your discernment has sharpened without effort, that is not imagination. That is activation. This message is not hype. It is alignment. Stay with me to the end, because this is not just explanation. This is recognition. A signature is not mass-produced. A signature is personal. A signature is precise. A signature carries identity, authority, and origin. When heaven places a signature on a soul, it is not borrowing power. It is not copying a past anointing. It is not recycling an old mantle. This is why no one before you could live your exact life. This is why your path felt lonely even in crowds. This is why advice rarely worked for you the way it worked for others. Your power does not come from imitation. It comes from authorization. Heaven did not say, "Give them a power." Heaven said, "Give them their power." That's why comparison never fit you. That's why trends drain you. That's why copying others always felt wrong, even when it worked. Your spirit was never designed to mirror. It was designed to originate. If this power activated loudly, it would attract the wrong hands. So heaven activates it silently. No trumpet. No public ceremony. No announcement post. Instead, activation looks like sudden clarity after confusion, emotional detachment from chaos, loss of interest in things that once consumed you, heightened discernment without trying, people projecting onto you without knowing why. This power doesn't make you louder. It makes you clearer. And clarity is dangerous to deception. That's why some people feel exposed around you. That's why manipulators avoid you. That's why fake energy gets uncomfortable in your presence. Your power is not aggressive. It is revealing. Chosen one, have you noticed this? People either open up to you instantly, compete with you silently, misjudge you completely, or feel intimidated without reason. That's because your heaven's signature power bypasses logic. It speaks directly to the spirit. People aren't responding to your words. They're responding to your frequency. You don't need to explain yourself, and the more you try, the more misunderstood you feel. Why? Because this power was never meant to be explained. It was meant to be recognized. Those aligned will feel peace. Those misaligned will feel pressure. And both reactions are correct. Chosen one, this is where many misunderstand what you carry. People assume power can be learned. They think it can be trained, rehearsed, downloaded, or mimicked. They believe if they observe you long enough, if they copy your words, your style, your rhythm, your confidence, they will eventually produce the same results. But what flows through you does not come from skill. It comes from authorization. And authorization cannot be copied. This power is not a technique. It is not a personality trait. It is not charisma. It is not even talent. It is a heaven-issued signature, custom-coded into your spirit. What people don't see is this. Your power carries memory. It remembers every silent night you survived, every prayer you whispered when no one was watching, every moment you chose integrity over convenience, every time you didn't retaliate when you could have, every season you obeyed without understanding. Your authority was formed in places no one applauded. That's why someone can try to imitate your surface and still fail. Because they don't carry your restraint, your endurance, your obedience, your internal alignment. They want the outcome without the refinement. But heaven does not release results. Heaven releases responsibility. and responsibility is earned. You may have noticed something strange over the years. People attempt to do what you do, speak how you speak, move how you move, carry themselves like you. At first, it looks convincing, but then, their energy becomes erratic. Their peace disappears. Their authenticity cracks. Their influence fades. Their foundation collapses. Why? Because imitation without alignment creates inner friction. They are carrying a weight they were never authorized to hold. Your power fits you because it was measured for you. Someone else wearing it feels pressure, feels exhaustion, feels confusion, feels instability. Not because they are evil, but because it was never theirs. Heaven knew this power would be valuable, so it was protected, not with secrecy alone, but with identity locks. Your power responds to your voice frequency, your intention, your integrity, your obedience, your inner posture. That's why when you speak truth, it lands. But when someone else repeats the same words, it feels hollow. The power doesn't respond to language. It responds to alignment. And alignment cannot be borrowed. This is something most people don't realize. When someone tries to copy a heaven signature power, it doesn't just fail. It exposes them. Because the power activates truth. So when they imitate without inner alignment, their insecurities surface. Their motives get revealed. Their inner instability becomes visible. Their mask slips. This is why you've seen people suddenly turn bitter, competitive, or defensive around you. They're not angry at you. They're reacting to the contrast. Your authenticity highlights their imitation. And instead of aligning themselves, they resist the mirror. Chosen one, this is important. Competition is for copies. Originals don't compete. They exist. You were never meant to race anyone. You were never meant to prove anything. You were never meant to outperform. Your power operates on assignment, not comparison. That's why. You advance without rushing. You attract without chasing. You influence without forcing. You lead without demanding. This frustrates people who rely on effort alone. Because your power flows when you stay aligned, not when you strive. Another reason no one can copy this power. It does not perform for attention. It does not entertain insecurity. It does not respond to ego. It reveals truth. And truth only flows through vessels willing to remain honest. That's why this power grew stronger when you became quieter. That's why it sharpened when you stopped explaining yourself. That's why it activated when you surrendered control. You didn't learn this power. You became safe for it. Heaven made this power uncopyable for one reason: protection. If anyone could copy it, it would be misused. It would be exploited. It would be corrupted. It would be weaponized. So heaven tied it to character. Not perfection, but integrity. Not flawlessness, but alignment. That's why you were tested internally more than externally. That's why shortcuts never worked for you. That's why dishonesty always cost you more. You were being shaped to carry something sacred. Chosen one, understand this deeply. People may imitate your style. They may study your moves. They may repeat your words. But they will never replicate your authority. Because your authority did not come from observation. It came from ordination. And heaven does not duplicate signatures. It assigns them. Your power is original. Your timing is precise. Your alignment is intentional. And that is exactly why. No one can copy this power. Let's speak honestly now. There were seasons when you felt abandoned. You felt unseen. You felt delayed. You felt misunderstood. But that was not punishment. That was preservation. Your power required refinement without contamination. Too many voices would have diluted it. Too much access would have distorted it. Too much validation would have weakened it. So heaven separated you, not to hurt you, but to protect what was forming. Now you see clearly. Now you trust your inner knowing. Now you don't need approval to move. Isolation wasn't loneliness. It was incubation. Chosen one, this chapter is not meant to impress you. It is meant to confirm you. Because when heaven activates a signature power, it does not arrive as fireworks. It arrives as subtle authority. You don't suddenly feel special. You feel clear. Below are the deeper, unmistakable signs. Read them slowly. These are not personality traits. These are activation markers. One of the first signs your heaven's signature power is active is this. You stop explaining yourself. Not because you're tired, but because your spirit no longer needs permission. Where you once felt misunderstood and defensive, you now feel unbothered. You realize, those meant to understand you already do. Those who don't, never will. And that no longer hurts. Proof is unnecessary when authority is present. Have you noticed this? When you say less, things shift more. Your silence makes people uncomfortable, forces truth to surface, ends arguments without debate, commands attention without demand. This is because your power does not persuade. It stabilizes. People feel something when you are quiet around them, and they don't know how to explain it. That's activation. Your discernment has sharpened. You feel when something is off before evidence appears. When someone's words and spirit don't match. When timing is wrong, even if logic says it's right. This is not paranoia. This is spiritual perception. Your power now scans energy automatically. You don't need proof first. You receive signal first. Things you once loved no longer feed you. Conversations feel shallow. Noise feels heavy. Certain environments drain you quickly. You're not becoming arrogant. You're becoming precise. Your power requires a clean channel. So heaven begins removing distractions, excess attachments, unnecessary emotional weight. This pruning is not loss. It is optimization. This one can feel confusing. People may admire you without knowing why, dislike you without reason, compete with you silently, confide in you unexpectedly. They are not reacting to you. They are reacting to what your power reveals within them. Your presence triggers self-awareness. And not everyone enjoys being seen. Things that once triggered you no longer do. Not because you're numb, but because you're centered. You respond instead of react. You observe instead of absorb. You remain calm where chaos once pulled you in. This emotional mastery is not learned behavior. It is the natural result of inner alignment. This is subtle but powerful. You don't always know why you're doing something. But you know when to move, when to pause, and when to wait. You trust timing more than urgency. You trust inner prompting more than external pressure. Your steps feel directed, not forced. That's heaven communicating through alignment. You may notice invitations appearing unexpectedly, doors opening without effort, support showing up at the right moment. Not because you're trying harder, but because you're aligned. Your power does not chase outcomes. It positions you where outcomes naturally find you. You don't crave authority. You don't need to dominate space. You don't force influence. Yet people look to you for direction. This is because true authority does not demand attention. It draws it. Your power leads by presence, not pressure. This is one of the clearest signs. Your peace. Comfort those who are aligned. Disturb those who thrive on chaos. Some feel safe around you. Others feel exposed. And you no longer try to manage their reaction. Peace is your confirmation. This is critical. As your power activates, you don't feel superior. You feel accountable. You're more careful with words. More intentional with actions. More aware of your influence. That weight is not pressure. It is trust. You may still walk a different path, but it no longer feels painful. You understand now. Separation was preparation. Silence was training. Delay was alignment. You are not isolated. You are positioned. Here is the final confirmation. This message resonates deeply without needing proof. Your spirit recognizes truth before your mind explains it. That recognition is not coincidence. It is resonance. And resonance only happens when something within you is already active. Chosen one, if you saw yourself in these signs, do not rush to tell anyone. This power grows best in alignment, not announcement. Honor it. Protect it. Stay clear. Because once a heaven signature power is active, life no longer responds to effort. It responds to alignment. This is important. Your heaven signature power exposes inner truth. People don't feel judged by you. They feel revealed. And revelation is uncomfortable for those avoiding themselves. So they may project insecurity, create false narratives, dismiss your value, compete unnecessarily, try to humble you. But none of that changes your assignment. Your job is not to shrink. Your job is to remain aligned. Let them misunderstand. Alignment always outlasts opposition. Power is not given when requested. It is given when trusted. Heaven watched how you handled disappointment, how you responded to betrayal, how you carried pain without poisoning others, how you stayed kind without becoming weak. You passed tests you didn't even know were tests. That's why this power didn't activate earlier. You were still becoming safe to carry it. Now you are. This power will not make you famous overnight. It will not inflate your ego. It will not turn you into someone else. It will do something far greater. It will simplify your decisions, clarify your purpose, strengthen your boundaries, sharpen your discernment, accelerate alignment. You will notice less chaos, fewer distractions, more precision, stronger outcomes. Because heaven does not rush power. Heaven aligns it. This is where many fail. Signature power requires stewardship. You must guard your energy. Choose integrity over shortcuts. Speak truth without ego. Move without needing validation. Rest without guilt. This power grows when honored. It weakens when compromised. Not because heaven takes it away, but because alignment is the channel. Stay aligned. Chosen one. Do not rush this. This is not a closing. This is a threshold. Before you read the words below, pause for a moment. Place one hand on your chest if you can. Breathe in deeply, slowly, through your nose. Hold it for a second. And release. What you are about to read is not a spell. It is not magic. It is alignment language. These words do not create your power. They acknowledge what heaven has already activated. Out loud if possible. If not, read with full attention. Let every line land. I acknowledge the heaven signature power within me. Not as ego. Not as superiority. But as responsibility. I accept that what flows through me is original. It was not borrowed. It was not copied. It was not inherited from imitation. It was entrusted to me. I release the need to compare myself to others. I release the urge to explain myself to those not assigned to understand me. I release the habit of shrinking to make others comfortable. I no longer chase validation. I no longer fear visibility. I no longer doubt my inner knowing. I recognize that my silence carries authority. My presence carries truth. My alignment carries power. I honor the seasons that refined me, the loneliness that trained me, the delays that protected me, the disappointments that redirected me. Nothing was wasted. I forgive those who misunderstood me. I forgive myself for moments of doubt. I forgive the version of me that did not yet know who I was becoming. I choose integrity over urgency. I choose clarity over chaos. I choose obedience over ego. I allow my power to operate cleanly, without manipulation, without force, without fear. What is mine cannot be copied. What is mine cannot be stolen. What is mine cannot be corrupted. I walk in discernment. I move in timing. I rest in trust. I am not late. I am not behind. I am precisely aligned. I accept the responsibility of influence. I guard my energy. I protect my peace. I respect my calling. From this moment forward, I move differently. Not louder, but clearer. Not faster, but truer. Not to impress, but to align. I am activated. I am aligned. I am ready. Now pause again. Do not scroll yet. Sit in silence for a few seconds. Notice what you feel in your body. Notice your breathing. Notice the calm, the clarity, or even the emotion. That is not imagination. That is resonance. Something within you recognized itself. Chosen one, understand this. You do not need to announce this activation. You do not need to prove it. You do not need permission to walk in it. Life will respond differently now, not because you changed who you are, but because you stopped resisting it. Let your actions stay simple. Let your spirit stay clear. Let your alignment stay protected. Heaven has already signed what is in you. And from this moment forward, walk like someone who knows. They were entrusted with something sacred. Chosen one. This power did not arrive to impress others. It arrived to position you. And the more you stay aligned, the more unmistakable it becomes. No noise required. No proof demanded. No explanation needed. Because heaven already signed it. And no one can copy that. If this message resonated, don't rush past it. Sit with it. Return to it. Let it settle. Your activation has already begun.